Hey guys, my name is Sierra and I'm so excited to be making another craft with you this week. Today's craft that we're going to be making is a coffee filter butterfly made out of coffee filters, clothespins, and pipe cleaners that will hopefully look something like this when you're done. So to make this coffee filter butterfly, the materials that you're going to need are a coffee filter, a clothespin, a pipe cleaner, some sort of glue or tape to attach things, and then washable markers. It's important that you use markers instead of colored pencils for this, and you'll see why in a moment. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to flatten out your coffee filter so that you can draw on it. It might not be perfect at first, but it'll flatten out more as you draw on it. So then you're going to take your markers and you can honestly draw any design that you want on here. I'm just going to color in a random design. So my only recommendation when coloring these in is that you want to try to fill as much as the coffee filter as possible with colorful markers. That way it'll make the end product super colorful, and that when we go to the next step, all of the colors will blend nicely together and leave you with the best looking coffee filter possible. But other than that, it's up to you, and totally be creative on this step. So once you have your fully colored coffee filter, you're going to want to ask a parent or another adult in your house to help you with this, because it can get a little messy since we are going to be misting this with water to create a cool watercolor effect like this. So you're going to want to you can use a piece of parchment for this, or foil, wax paper, and then you're going to want to put your coffee filter down on it before we spray it with water. For me, I'm gonna be using this plastic tray, so if anything spills, it will get caught on this plate. So definitely remember, you want something underneath this because it will bleed through and it can make a mess. So again, please ask a parent or adult in your house. And then you're gonna wanna take a water. If you have a mister bottle like this, that would work the best. But if you just wanna sprinkle some water on here, you'll get the same effect. Just make sure to not put too much water that it overflows and gets too wet. So you're just gonna mist it like this. And you'll notice how all the colors start to bleed together and it starts to create a cool kind of watercolor effect. So then you're just gonna leave your coffee filter on your piece of plastic or parchment or wax paper, whatever you use, and let that sit until it fully dries. This may take a little bit, but we'll do some other stuff in the meantime while it dries. So while we're waiting for that coffee filter to dry, and if a parent or guardian isn't around to help you with that, or you don't have anything to clean up the mess, you can just keep your coffee filter colored as and don't do the water if that's too much. So then for the next step, you're going to take your clothespin and you're going to need a marker for this. We're going to be drawing the face and the smile on the body of the butterfly. So this is going to act as, the body of the butterfly. And so it's really important that you want to draw your face on the end that you pinch to open it up. So you're not going to want to draw the face on this end because then it will be upside down. So make sure it's at the top that's farther apart and that you pinch. Now we're going to make the antenna for the butterfly. So you're going to want to take your pipe cleaner and bend it in half. So make sure they line up, and then you're going to want it in half like this. So you have two sides. So then separate the halves a little bit. And to make the curly part of the antenna, just take one side, bend it, and curl it around like this. So you're going to want to do that to both sides. So you'll end up with something like this. So now we're going to go back to our clothespin that we have with our face and our antenna, and we're going to end up wanting our antenna to attach to the back of our clothespin so that they look like little antennas coming out over the face. So if you decided to use tape for your method, you can take a piece of tape and then line up your antenna with the back of your clothespin, and then just line up the tape and tape that clothespin and tape that antenna right to the clothespin. So then it should stay and still have something like this. So then it will stay like that, and just make sure to push the tape down nice like that. If you decided to use glue like this, what you're going to do is basically the same thing, but you're gonna apply the glue to the back side of your clothespin opposite of the face that you drew. And my glue is currently clogged and I can't get it to work, but just imagine that there's glue coming out of here as I'm squeezing. You're just gonna apply it along there. Good amount, but not too much. Then you're gonna take your antenna and press it down on that glue and make sure to hold it there for a minute. And if you are using glue, it is going to take a little bit longer to dry, and you'll have to wait for it to dry completely before using it again. So just if you're using glue, set that aside and wait for it to completely dry. So now you just have to wait for your coffee filter to dry or your glue to dry if you chose to glue your antenna. This might take a little bit for the coffee filter to dry, but I promise the results are really cool. And so I waited for mine to dry, and here's what one of mine looks like when it's dry. So you can experiment with all different kinds of patterns on these and make it really fun and colorful. So the next thing that you're gonna wanna do is take your coffee filter and then find the two middle, top and bottom, and then kind of scrunch them together like this. Because now we're gonna be making the wings of the butterfly. So you wanna have them scrunched together like this so you have about an equal amount on each side and that you're pinching the middle. So here's kind of what you're gonna want this to look like. Here's mine, and you just wanna try to make them as even as possible. So you might have to mess with them a little bit. But then once you're gonna do that, you're gonna take your antenna and your face that you have over here, and then you're gonna pinch the part to open the clothespin and just go like this to fully get all of that in there. So then it attaches in the clothespin. And then once it's in there, you might have to maneuver the clothespin a little bit so that it goes like this. And voila, there you have your clothespin butterfly. They're super colorful and fun, just in time for spring. Thank you guys so much for watching and following along and making this super fun butterfly with me. Stay crafty. Thanks for watching. Stay crafty.